Okay. Get cozy in your comfortable position to arrive in this space today. Thanks for joining. If you're joining virtually, good to see you. And if you're practicing again, good to see you again. And just settle into that comfortable meditation posture, perhaps sitting on your blanket just to elevate the hips, allow the spine to find its natural curve. Just let the hands rest on the thighs, relaxing the shoulders, taking a moment to close the eyes as long as that feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can soften the gaze at a point in front of you. And just acknowledge the space that you're in right now. The space of the physical body and the energetic body. Just take a pulse on the quality of thoughts. Maybe noticing which story is really loud and strong and prominent in your mind right now. Just noticing whatever might pull you away from your practice. And just asking that thought to just take a seat for a moment. We'll tend to that thought after the practice or whenever is the right time. Maybe it's tomorrow. We're not going to ignore whatever thoughts, feelings, stories are really flowing through the busy mind. We're just going to ask our minds to focus on something different for the next 60 minutes. And with that permission to redirect your focus, tune into the breath for a moment. Sense the air come in through the body, through the nostrils. And follow the breath as it flows out through the nostrils, or maybe it's through the mouth. Paying attention to where you feel the body being breathed. Noticing if the breath feels shallow or deep. And the pattern of breath will respond to the pattern of our thoughts. So the quieter the thoughts, the deeper and quieter the breath. And we can use the breath to influence the mind as well and the body. The more shallow the breath, maybe the busier, the more anxious the body is. Notice if your body would like a little bit of a longer breath. Maybe you take extra time breathing into the belly and the ribs and the back body. And create little hang tens with your hands. So you're going to leave your pinkies and thumbs extended. And you're going to nest your pinkies into the tops of the hip creases. So you'll feel the little hip bone there. Place your thumbs in the bottom of the rib cage. And just notice how the pattern of breath, the breath through the belly, expands and contracts the distance between the pinky and the thumb. See if you can influence the breath so that with each inhale, the spine becomes longer and taller. The ribs expand out and up. And the length between the pinky and the thumb becomes greater. So with each in-breath, we're decompressing the spine, creating more space in the body, lengthening that main energetic channel. So we can move more freely. A lot of our postures that we'll do today to open the back, open the thighs, and release tension in the hips. Release the hands, see if you can maintain that expansive breath, decompressing the spine. Notice how it has effects on the body. And with your next inhale, reach the arms out to the side, bring them up over the head, palms touch. With your exhalation, you're going to draw the arms out to the side and back down. The eyes can stay closed. We're just warming up the shoulders. Inhale the arms up, keeping the shoulder blades down. As you raise the arms up overhead. And then exhaling, flipping the palms as if you're pushing the air back down to the earth. So lengthening the spine with each inhale. Continue these open sun salutation arms. And maybe as you inhale, you gulp up whatever you want to bring into this practice in this evening, this week, this year, maybe connecting to your Sankalpa, your New Year's resolution, whatever's not serving you, exhale it out, releasing any negativity and tension. So using this time to release tension in the body through your breath, drawing prana in throughout every cell, and releasing tension in the mind by introducing any positive thoughts, planting the seed for those outcomes that you want to achieve that you've set either at the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year, maybe the beginning of the week, maybe just today. All starts with a seed. And your next exhale, you're going to twist over to the right. Maybe you want to peek the eyes open a little bit. Inhale up, and then you'll twist to the left. So slow movements here, but with intention. You're really feeling the spine open up, the arms open up, the energy moving up the spine and out the fingertips, moving slowly, telling the mind to slow down, asking the body to slow down. These small, deliberate movements. And then one more time, the arms will come up to center. We'll pause at center, tilt the head back, and just gaze out past the thumbs. Draw the hands down the center and rest them in the middle of the chest. And then one more time, just choosing that word or intention you want to bring into the practice, that positive thought. And we holding it in with a silent Om. And then release, and let's come up to standing, continuing that practice to awaken the physical and energetic body. So Tadasana, feet firmly planted into the ground, lifting up through the spine, decompressing the spine with your breath. Inhale, raise the arms up. Finish the inhales after the arms touch. Start your exhale and forward fold. We're going to do a Surya Namaskar C. So you're going to look forward with your inhale, and your right foot's going to step back, knee comes down, low lunge. Look forward. Exhale, step back into plank. Hold the exhale, and then lower down knees, and then bring your chest and either the chin or the forehead. Take a breath in, decompress the spine. Cobra pose, untucking your toes. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog, reaching the hips up high, saying hello to all those muscles. Look forward. We're going to step the right foot forward, back knee comes down, low lunge, and step the left to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, the feet are firmly planted into the ground as you come up to standing. Arms go up and touch. Gaze past the thumbs, draw the hands down the midline. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Exhale, reach the arms up overhead. That was one round. Exhale, forward fold. And look forward. Step the left foot back. Knee comes down, low lunge. Step the right to meet the left. Plank for a moment. And on your exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, step the left leg forward. Right knee comes down. Step the right to meet the left, forward fold. Follow the in-breath to come all the way up to standing. Exhale, Tadasana. So that was one round. We'll do two more. So one on each side. Inhale, hands to heart center. Rise them up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale the forward fold. Follow the in-breath, get really long, pressing in through the heels. And then step your right foot back into that low lunge. Step the left foot back, plank. Knees, chest, chin. And then you'll follow your in-breath, bringing the chest forward and up, decompressing the spine into upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And look forward with the in-breath, step the right foot forward, back knee comes down. Step the left to meet the right, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to come all the way up the standing, reach the arms out wide, and then come up to the palms touch. Draw the hands down the midline. Tadasana. Take a breath in, bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. Exhale, inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. This time our left foot's going to step back into that low lunge. Deep breath in. Exhale, Chaturanga. Follow the exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in the downward facing dog. Left leg comes forward, back knee down. Step the right to meet the left, forward fold into Uttanasana. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Tadasana. One more time. Inhale, Anjali Mudra. Let the air out. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And this time, let's step the right foot back, back knee down. Breath in, nice long stretch. Step back into plank with your exhale, and then knees, chest, chin. Shoulders are back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Place the heels of the hands, pull them back, shoulders up and back. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, back knee down. Step the left to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, draw the hands down the midline. Tadasana, pause for a breath, reconnect that center. Reconnect with that decompression breath. Inhale, Anjali Mudra with the hands, exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, belly pulls in, hands touch the floor if you want them to. Ardha Uttanasana. And then our left foot is going to step back. Low lunge, look forward, step back into plank. Knees, chest, chin on the exhale. Scoot forward into cobra on the inhale, feeling the chest expand in the front and the back. And then downward facing dog. Step that left leg forward, back knee down. Step the right to meet the left, forward fold. And then inhale to come all the way up. Exhale the hands down the midline, nice job. Pause in Tadasana. We'll build on that a little bit to warm up the energy channels all the way from the feet up through the hips into the spine. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, get really long. Exhale, step back into your plank. Hold the plank for 2 breaths. Spread the fingers wide. Roll the shoulders back. And just like the mat supporting your hands, visualize your whole upper back supporting the earth above you. Like you have 2 planes, front and a half. Generate some heat here. Little internal fire. We didn't do any Kapalabhati, so this is our time to sort of burn off whatever is lingering that we didn't quite put on that post-it note to tend to later. Shift forward and then bend the elbows, coming all the way down into your belly. Untuck the toes, cobra pose, big back bend. Really breathe into the spine. Lower down and push yourself up into a downward facing dog. Maybe this is your opportunity to bend one knee and the left knee and the right knee. Maybe shift the hips side to side. And let's look forward. Let's step that right foot to meet the right hand. Back knee comes down, leave the toes tucked, reach the arms forward. And then keep the arms extended out forward, plug them into the shoulders. Decompress the spine, almost like you're lifting up through top of the head, like the palate. You're reaching up through the palate, the top of your mouth. And reach the top of your mouth back. Arms will follow then to a slight back bend, really pulling both feet in towards one another. At any point the lower back hurts, just come back up to vertical. Drawing the hands into Anjali Mudra and at heart center. Inhale to come up. Let's bring the left elbow to the right knee. But rather than thinking about that elbow to knee, think about the left lungs rotating to the right. If the spine was one long line, if you were lifting up out through the top of the palate, even if you want to touch the palate with the top of your tongue, and visualize that you're lifting and reaching out the body that way. Notice how you'll twist a little bit more to the right. Right elbow's pointed up to the sky. Breathe in through this active twist. And release. Bring the hands back down. Let's come back into plank. Let's build some fire once again. So if you can, try to stack your heels on tops of your toes. Spread your fingers wide and visualize that you're pulling the forearms in towards one another. This activates the arms even more. Not that you needed more activation. Notice the quality of the breath and the thoughts. Like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. You can do this. Maybe you don't want to. Shift a little bit forward. Bend the elbows, activating the triceps. Lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, cobra pose. Inhale. Pull the heels of the hands back. Lift up through the palate. Lower down, and let's push back into downward facing dog. This is your rest pose for a moment. You'd like to come down into your knees or bend your knees a lot to stretch the spine even more. See how that feels. See what your body likes right now. Let's step our left foot forward to the left hand. Back knees down, Anjaneyasana, left side. So inhale the arms straight out in front of you. Plug them back into the shoulders. We activate the lower body, connecting with that earth. When we create that connection, we naturally cultivate a feeling of being supported. Decompress the spine and start to bend the back or reach the top of the head back, the palates reaching back, and then arms will follow. Draw the hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra, opening up the heart channel. Inhale to come up. And then bring the right elbow to the left knee, focusing on spiraling the back of the right body to the left, pointing that left elbow up. And the hands are firmly pressing together. Breathing here. Notice how when you breathe into that right side, that you twist a little bit deeper. Nice job. Let's untwist, come back into plank. We won't hold plank that long, but maybe 2 breaths. Notice how it feels differently. You're stronger. The whole front body is activated. Whole back body is activated. Reach forward, lower down, chaturanga. And tuck your toes. Press the pinkies and the big toenails into the mat as you come up, following the in-breath, cobra pose. And tuck the toes, come on back, downward facing dog. Let's step the feet a little bit closer together. Adho Mukha Shavasana. So one-legged downward dog. We're going to reach the right heel up to the sky. Roll the ankle out a bit. Then bend that right knee. And visualize you're pushing the heel over towards the left, stacking one hip on top of the other. Almost like you're going to step your heel on the floor. Feeling a stretch in the abdomen. Let's come on back, square those hips, and let's take that right knee and bring it to the right elbow. Come on back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Let's take the right knee to the left elbow. Let's try the tricep. Tap. Come on back. And then let's step that leg forward, Trikonasana. Triangle pose. So your back heel is about a 45-degree angle, back foot. And that inner thigh is rotating backward. The front inner thigh is rotating forward and up. And then we're extending out from both hands. Check in where the gaze will be preferred for your neck. If you're going to be looking up, or maybe you're going to be looking down at the toes. There's still spine decompression happening here. And then inhale to come up. We'll rotate the hands. I'm just going to check something. Okay, I'm still here. My screen went away. So we're up with standing. Then we're going to, because I checked something, we're going to do a fun little, I checked something, so I moved this out of our flow, go back into our flow. So let's make our way down to a downward facing dog. My screen was going a little crazy, so I wasn't sure if the video turned off. Step your feet a little bit closer together, maybe about a footprint apart. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Ekapada Adho Mukha Shavasana. One leg downward dog with the left. So let's reach the left heel back and up. Find even weight between the hands and your right foot. And let's bend that left knee. Almost like we're reaching the left heel for the back of the room. Breathing here, enjoying the stretch. Keeping the knee bent. Come on back to square the hips. And let's bring that knee to the left tricep. Touch it for a second. Bring it all the way back, one-legged downward dog. Bring the knee to the right tricep, crossing over, and coming all the way back. And let's step forward into Trikonasana. Taking the left hand and your peace fingers around the neck of the big toe, and the right arm extends up. So that back inner thigh is moving down, front inner thigh is moving up. Spine, we're lifting out through the crown of the head, through the palate, and extending the arms wide. Allow the gaze to be wide as well. Release your grip of the toe. Inhale to come all the way up. Rotate and pivot the feet so you're in opposite direction. And this is a good opportunity to grab your block, place it on the outside, the pinky side of your right foot. Right hand's on your hip. Left arm comes up. Twisted triangle. So exhale, let's take the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Again, twist the back of the left lungs and the ribs towards the right, reaching the right arm up. Your left shoulder has an internal rotation. That allows the body to open up a little bit more. And just do the best that your body wants to do today. No judgment about how far you can twist or if you can't twist. Inhale to come up, pressing into the feet. Second side, so maybe you need to grab that block. Exhale, fold over. Twist open. Left arm extends. So that left hip's moving back, the right hip's moving forward. Both feet are pressing firmly into the ground's pressing into the feet, and the arms are extending long. With each in-breath, you can twist a little bit further. Breathe here. And then inhale to come all the way up and step to the front of your mat, Tadasana, your marker pose to just reset, reconnect with that intention, that positive train of thought that you've established at the beginning of practice. Step the feet out wide, heel toe the feet even a little bit wider. Inhale the arms out long. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands between the feet and draw the top of the head, the palate, towards the floor. There's an internal spiral of the thighs, so they're moving towards the back of the room. And shift your weight a little bit forward so you can feel even distribution of weight in the ball of the feet and the heels. With each in-breath, you get a little bit longer. With each out-breath, you fold forward. Challenging pose, but with time, flexibility builds. Inhale and walk the hands forward. Exhale, walk the hands to the right foot. Feeling a wonderful opening on the left side of the body. Do your next breath, walk the hands over to the left. Nice, nice, nice. Bring the hands back to center and then follow the in-breath coming all the way up. Hands extended, and then exhale, clasp the hands behind the back, straightening the elbows, feeling the shoulder blades draw towards one another. Decompress the spine, feeling the ribs expand out and up. And with your next out breath, you're going to forward fold, reaching the knuckles up and then forward, drawing the shoulder blades up and back. Breathing into the stretch, undoing all of the tension that we hold in our shoulders, all the weight of the day, all the to-dos, all the other people's energy. We're squeezing it all out, replacing it with nourishment. Inhale to come up. Strong legs. Release the hands, stretch them out to the sides, and then exhale, draw the hands onto the hips. The elbows are going to draw towards one another. We're going to heel toe the feet in a little bit. So your feet are probably about 2 or 3 feet apart. And then let's pivot to the front of our mat. So we're in a pyramid pose. The back foot is on an angle and the front foot's pointing forward. Our hips are in one line and square. So you're going to reach your arms. You've been pulling your elbows back together. You can keep this, or you can grab opposite elbows. Or if you'd like to do a reverse prayer, the best way to do it is to draw the fingertips together and then slide the pinkies up the back. You can get that prayer position. So the fronts of the shoulders are going to go into an internal rotation, just like we did with that twisted triangle. Inhale to decompress the spine, long, long spine, releasing, making space. And then exhale, forward fold. Ideally, you want to bring the chin to the knee or the forehead to the knee, bending the knee so you can make some head and chin, chin, head, forehead, head, knee connection. Inhale to come up. Nice job. Let's do the other side. Keeping that same grip, we're trying something different. Inhale, get long, and then exhale, forward fold. On all the way up. Follow that in-breath up. Release the hands, maybe shake out the wrists a little bit if you were in that Anjali Mudra. And then grab your strap. Right, we are great on time. So we're still going to we're going to start opening up the hips a little bit now, practicing some balance to create some heat in the body. And then we'll move down onto the floor and get a little bit deeper into the hips and to the back. So, all right. So let's shift our weight onto our left foot, and let's raise the left heel up and then pull it back energetically, drop it on the floor. Inhale to bend the right knee, drawing it to the chest and holding the shin. Maybe flaring the toes, maybe rolling out the ankle. You have an opportunity to do that. Straighten that left knee. And see if you can pull the thigh a little bit closer to the body, but just using the muscles of the hips. Maybe even like placing your hand there and noticing what it feels like to just use those muscles. And if you haven't already, put your strap around the ball of your feet, or you're going to grab the neck of the thumb, neck of the big toe with your peace fingers, extend the heel forward. Smile and breathe that your body is capable of doing this amazing, challenging posture. Point the toes to the right. This will create a little rotation in the hips, and let's open the hips up to the right. Look over to the left if balance allows. And then inhale, come forward. One more time, forward fold if balance allows. And then release, point the toe, keep it extended. Just enjoy, smile, breathe. It's the only time you have to do this week. Lower it down. Thanking your leg for everything that it can do today, everything it will do tomorrow. Noticing a difference between each side. And let's shift that weight over into the right. So we're going to raise that right heel, pull the heel back. Really plant it into the floor, firming up that right knee. Let's pull the left leg up. Just take a moment to find balance, to create balance. Let's not find it, let's create it. Practice drawing the thigh in closer, just using the hip, drawing the hip bone back a little bit more. This is going to help you to extend your leg out. And when you're ready, go on, extend that heel forward. So left hip's drawing back. Left heel's moving forward, legs raising up, and we're not folding forward yet. If you want to, you can, of course. You're doing so good. Let's pivot the foot to the left, open on up. Look over to the right, firm right leg. And bring the leg back to center. Let's forward fold here. And then release, extend the leg forward. Feeling grateful for the power that exists in your body to raise this leg up. Release. Shake it out a little bit. Let's move our straps out of the way. And practice a couple little crows that will add as part of our vinyasa. So a little Surya Namaskar D, I guess. Tadasana. So inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Step the feet out wide. As wide as your mat. Bend the knees. Inner rotation of the hips. And extend the arms forward. So we're opening up the hips, undoing everything that happens from sitting in chairs. We're also opening up for a crow pose. And then release the hands back down, straighten the knees. Heel toe the feet. Bakasana. So knees are on the triceps or in the armpits generally. Index fingers pointed forward. Get a feel for the weight into the palms as you shift forward. Bend the elbows. Use the abdomen to raise the feet off of the floor. Lower the feet back down and step back into a plank pose. Nice job. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, the first upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths. You just did a lot of work right there. And let's do that one more time, stepping the feet to the outsides of the hands. So getting into that wide functional forward fold, reaching the arms out, maybe bringing all fingertips to touch into Hakini Mudra. Bringing the hands to the floor, straighten the elbows, Bakasana, row pose. Second time. Second time's always the best. Preparing and then flying. Coming on back down whenever you feel ready. No judgment on how you did today, how you did last week. Plank pose, lower on down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to come into seating. So we're going to cross our feet and sort of bring them through the hands. So the easiest way to do that is we're going to take our left foot and bring it to the right wrist. We'll bring the right foot behind it to the left wrist. The hips will stay high. And then we'll wiggle our feet through, eventually jumping the feet through. So step one foot, top of the foot. It's on the floor, top of the foot's on the floor. Keep the hips up in the air. And then start to wiggle the feet forward, extending them long. Look at that. You did like a slow motion jump through. Dandasana. So anchor yourself onto the floor, creating that connection with the earth, cultivating that sense of stability and that you're cared for by everything that exists in the world today. All of those seeds you're planting, for those commitments, those intentions, those New Year's resolutions, you're supported through all of those efforts. Reverse tabletop. So let's step our hands behind our hips. Step the feet together. We're going to point the toes. Option here to just bend the knees and raise the hips. Otherwise, pointed toes, reach back, shoulders back and down. And then inhale, raise the hips up, head falls back. Lower on down. Great job. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale, forward fold. Place your fingers around the necks of the big toes. Or your hands are just going to be at your side. Release the grip and extend the arms even further. Walk the hands a little bit further, wherever you're at. Soften the gaze and expand it as if you can see all behind you, like you have eyes behind your head, behind your back. Inhale to come up. Let's jump through to come back into a downward facing dog. So we're going to do the opposite of what we did before. We're going to shift ourselves forward. The hips are going to come up and then we're going to cross the feet, wiggle them back, raising the hips up, stepping back into downward facing dog. Lizard pose. So step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Bring the back knee down. And then we're going to drop the left hip coming down onto the elbows. Or you can place your elbows on blocks. The right knee's in the direction of the right foot. And we're just breathing here. Maybe you extend the back knee off of the mat. Extend it long. See how that feels in the body. Come up onto the hands. So you're coming off of the elbows, come off your blocks. And we're going to heel toe the right foot to the middle of the mat. And then come onto the outside edge of the foot. So focus on keeping the foot straight in one line. So the knee is drawing towards the right side of the floor, but we're not rolling onto the top of the right foot. The right knife edge side of the foot's pressing into the mat. And come on up and let's switch sides. That felt good. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, lizard pose. Come onto the elbows, back knees down. Allow the weight of the right hip descending towards the floor. Open up the left hip. And open up that gaze forward and back. As if you can see beyond what's in front of you. Maybe lifting that back knee up. So good. Come up onto your hands, remove any blocks you have, and let's place the outside edge of the foot in the middle of your hands, the middle of your mat. Draw that left knee towards the mat. So careful not to sickle the foot and roll into the top of the foot. We're maintaining a straight line from the ankle to the knee. Just focusing on opening up the hip joint and not sickling the foot. And release, and let's come back to downward facing dog. Let's bring the right knee to the right wrist, left foot to the left wrist. Pressing the outer edge of the right foot into the mat. Your left hip's probably going to be pretty far off of the floor. Maybe not, maybe it will. But this action we're working on is outer right foot on the floor. Knee parallel with ankle. Different type of pigeon, different type of hip opening, maybe a bit more intense, but breathe into it. Switch sides, come on up into downward facing dog carefully, mindfully. Left knee to left wrist. Come into the top, the outer edge of the left foot. Extend the right leg long. Both sides are different, even for me. But focusing on flaring those big toe and the pinky toe of the left foot. Pressing that outer edge of the foot into the mat. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So let's shift over to the left. Bring the right foot to meet the left. So opening up the hips even more as if we didn't do it enough, but week over week, trust you're going to experience changes emotionally, physically, when we release pockets of tension in these areas of the body. So place your hands on the tops of the feet and start to pull the skin forward of the feet. Draw the heels in towards the pelvis. And press the outer edges of the feet down, the inner arches toward one another. Visualize the knees moving out away from each other. Visualize the hips or the legs moving out of the hip joints. Shift your weight forward and see if you can use the elbows to draw the knees further apart. Still pressing the outer edges of the feet in to the mat. The feet open slightly. And then inhale to come up. Nice. Let's draw the knees together and then extend the legs out long. Upavishta Konasana. I think that was the name of the pose, but for some reason, I feel like I missed something there. Let's, what's the word I'm looking for? Like walk the heels out apart from each other to extend the legs out longer. So if you can see my heel, it's going like this. Yeah, do that. Let's shift over to the left. Take your right hand and your inner thigh and rotate it down and back. Rotate the leg down and back. Go all the way to the calf, moving the skin under and out. Shift over to the right and do the same. So the right hand's going to take the flesh, rotate it out. This is going to plant the sit bones further on the floor and then start to walk the hands out in front. If you are up here, this is a wonderful place to be. This is not an easy pose, but it releases tension in the legs. It creates expansion in the body and the mind. And let's walk the hands back up. Place your hands underneath the thighs and carefully draw the legs in together. Pausing here for a moment. Let's set up for camel pose. So if you haven't done this in a while and you'd like to use your block, you can place the block between your thighs just to maintain that squeeze of the inner thighs and rotating the block out, if that made sense. You want to rotate the inner thigh so it's like you're going to squeeze the block and it's going to pop out. So you can hold that block there, create that decompression, and that's expansion of the spine. Find the top of the palate and start to move the top of the palate back, extending the arms long, placing them on top of the heels or the floor. It's best to keep the chin tucked. This can be a lot on the neck, but just breathe through the chest. Place the hands on the lower back and then inhale to come up. Nice job. Sit back on the heels, removing your block. Maybe silently repeating the sound of Om to yourself. Taking a moment to notice any effects from the practice. If there's been any changes from before and after you've started. And then moving your block out of the way. We'll come up into dolphin pose. Or if you'd like to do a headstand on the wall, there's that opportunity for you to do that as well. Interlace the fingers and the elbows are about shoulder width apart. So you can grab opposite elbow. That's shoulder width apart. Step the knees back and then come up into the toes, stretching the knees out. So straightening the knees. Walk the feet forward so the shoulders are over the elbows, relaxing the neck. Pressing into the forearms, lift the right leg up. And then release, let's switch. Lift the left leg up. And then release. Coming back onto the knees, bringing the hips towards the heels, extend the arms long, child's pose. This pose often is a representation of surrendering to whatever is occurring in your life, the stresses, the good, the bad. Walk your hands over to the right, breathing into the left side. Walk your hands over to the left, breathing into the right side, placing both palms into the floor. Come back to center and use your hands to push yourself up. Come onto your back, your shoulder stand and halasana. Extend the legs up and then over, placing the hands on the lower back. Reach the heels up towards the ceiling, walking the elbows in towards one another. Straightening the legs and extending the heels up and out. Navel pulls in, the gaze is soft. And slowly start to descend the legs down and over the head, bringing the feet to the floor. And if your body is ready for it, you can extend the arms long, interlacing the fingers. To halasana. Very therapeutic and closing posture. Sealing in all the goodness of your practice. Release the hands and then slowly draw the hips back down to the mat. Bending the knees and then extending them long for your final shavasana, your constructive rest. Placing the tops of the hands on the floor. Rolling the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Let all the air out of the mouth. Relaxing both feet. Relaxing both legs. Release any tension in the arms and the chest. Remove any tension from the back and the muscles of the spine. Release tension in the face, in the top of the head. Allow the whole earth to receive your weight, allowing the body to feel heavy. As if you're sinking into a beautiful pillow, comfortable couch, soft bed. Allow yourself to be comforted by the surface below you. Now feel your body as light as a feather. As light as a cloud. And rest in that space in between, feeling heavy and light. Breathing into that space in the center of the mind. As if your awareness was beyond this body. this room, the home you are in, the city you're in. And bringing yourself back to your body, back to this room, wiggling your fingers and toes. Bending your knees and rolling over to one side, creating a little pillow with your hands for your head. Using your hands to push yourself up. Finding that comfortable position that you started in. Closing the eyes, drawing the hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Resting the thumbs on the center line of the chest. Breathing into the stillness you've created in your mind and body. And close the practice with the sound of Om. Inhaling for Om. Ah. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, free, and at peace. And may my words, thoughts, and actions contribute to that happiness, freedom, and peace. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Open your eyes. Have a wonderful week and dinner, time with your family and friends tonight. Thanks. See you next time.
Thank you, Meredith.
Thanks. Hope you have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
It's
Thank
good.
you, Meredith.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.